What's up, guys? Bushi Katagi here. On Instagram, I had like a poll uh, on whether or not I should do a Q&A or a story time for my next video. So I just checked the poll right now, and turns out it was 73 to fucking 27%, or whatever. And I guess story time won. I'm over here processing these shit. So in the background, you all have gameplay of I think it's called Azir Cave. I'm using the M13. I think I dropped like 39 or like 49 on this one. And in the next gameplay, I forgot. It's on uh, that one fucking map no one fucking likes, anyways. And I think I dropped like 40 or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyways, so I guess for the story time, I don't know what to really talk about besides like growing up and like how I got introduced to video games. Cause I mean, shit, a bunch of YouTubers do this fucking video, so I might as well fucking do it. So I grew up playing like the Nintendo and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up with like Nintendo DS, Game Boy, a GameCube. That was my actual like first console besides like a portable console. And I grew up like playing like like Mario Kart, Yoshi's Island, fucking Lego Star Wars, shit like that. Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog. That game was pretty lit. Playing with my cousin like on Christmas and shit. But like, um, damn. Uh, Mario Kart was like Mario Kart Double Dash. That game was like pretty sick as fuck. Like that was like one of the first games like that I really got hooked onto. But like years went by and shit. I forgot how old I was when I had like a GameCube. I think I was like 4 or 5. And that happened. Years went by. I'm like probably like 10 or 11. I had this neighbor named Jimmy. He's still my neighbor to this day. He's a really cool guy. But his brother at the time had a Xbox 360 and had Black Ops. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time I was like 10, I had like a Nintendo Wii. And the only Call of Duty I was like really introduced to was Call of Duty Black Ops on the fucking Wii. And that game was literally fucking horseshit. Like that game was so trash, and that was the only thing I had. Like that was the only thing I could fucking play besides like Mario Kart and shit like that, Lego Star Wars. And I don't blame myself. I'm just a fucking kid. At the time I was just a little kid. Like what the fuck is a kid gonna do with a 360? He's like 11 years old and playing fucking Black Ops. Like my mom didn't like that idea. So that fucking happened, and I had that Wii, and I just remember like people would play with the Wiimote and like actually play multiplayer on that shit. Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops Wii had fucking multiplayer. Can you believe that shit? Like that shit was so ass. I mean, it had all the maps and shit. I think the one thing it didn't have was I don't think it had camos. Like you couldn't have camos, or like there wasn't like a buy system. It was one of the two. But I had that, and like I would go over to my friend's house, and he would like sneak into his room just to play his brother's like PS or his Xbox, and like he would just go crazy. Like he would show me like all the Black Ops shit, like the camos and like the graphics and shit. Like at the time the graphics on the 360 were pretty shit, but like coming from a guy who owns a fucking Nintendo Wii, those graphics meant like the world to me. So like that same year, I begged my mom for an Xbox for Christmas, and like, I think I don't know when it was when I asked her, but eventually she did like get me an Xbox, and like I was so hyped. I was like, yo, and so I remember Xbox was giving away like around Christmas time they would give away like a game to go with the Xbox, and at the time it was Fable 3. And that game I never fucking touched because I felt like that game was shit. But I had Modern Warfare 3, and I remember just playing Modern Warfare 3 and shit. And my dumbass didn't know that you needed Xbox 3 or you needed Xbox Live to play with your friends. So I'm like probably in like 5th or 6th grade, and I'm over here telling my friends like, "Yo, I got a fucking Xbox." And my fucking name was so cringe, like Sleep Kid 10, like like who the fuck? I was a little crackhead or something, like Sleep Kid, and like I'd always get punked for that fucking name. But um, there's like a whole thing to that. Like, let me just get to it. So anyways, I'm going around school. I'm like in fifth grade. I'm in like I have like a couple friends in there that I'm still friends with to this day, and I still play with to this day. And like I'd just be like, yo, like I got an Xbox 360, I got a Modern Warfare 3, like, yo, let's go home, let's fucking play this shit. And my kids, like my friends would be like, yo, like that's sick, like hop on, like we'll invite you and shit, like what's your fucking like your gamer tag? And I'd be like, oh, Sleep Kid 10, and I would fucking write it down on paper, like think I was hot shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit was so funny, going around thinking you're hot shit with a name like Sleep Kid 10. So yeah, I think I went like a year or two with that fucking name, and eventually I joined this. I wasn't really joining like a clan or whatever, but we called it a clan, and it was Soul Bear, and each Soul Bear had a like different color to it. So like my friend would be Red Soul Bear, and he was like the owner of like our clan or whatever. He was the one that started it all. And then we had my friend Andrew, who was blue. We had another guy named Josue, he was green. We had Brian, who really never played, but he would always like make a new account, and it was just like the dumbest shit ever. Hold on. And like I just remember being like so shitty, like, you know, like we were just like a bunch of little kids, and like like we just had this cringy ass name, you know, like the Care Bears or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit was cringe. And we would go around like talking shit in lobbies, and Modern Warfare 3 was like, it wasn't like a peak, but that was like kind of like the start of how I got hooked into Call of Duty. I would just play with my friends and stuff. Like I wouldn't really go for gold camo or anything. I just wanted to like drop streaks. Like I wanted to pub stomp. I wanted to, you know, feel like a god in that game, like just killing everyone and shit. And like people would have jitter mods and stuff like that, and I would complain because like that's like technically cheating, but you know, people did it at the time, and I'm pretty sure people still do it to this day, but I'm not too sure. But like shit like that happened. Years go by. We're playing or I think it was Ghost. We were playing Ghost, and I think that was the peak of our like existence. Like we would go around like pub stomping lobbies with MTARs and shit like that, and I forgot what the other gun that was like. Oh, the Remington. I remember the Remington was like my go-to. So it's like, I just remember pub stomping the shit out of every fucking lobby like known to man, in Modern and Ghost. I mean, and like people would send us like hate messages and shit. Like we're only like what, like 13 or like 12, probably like I want to say 14 at most, and we were just like, you know, we were just kids, you know, like we were just having fun. And to this day, I'm just like low key thinking about how old those people were that were talking shit on us, because I know they were like teenagers, like high school, but I wonder how old they are right now. Probably like still talking shit on Call of Duty, for all we know. Um, for all we fucking know. But I remember this one time where we were playing Ghost, and we were in an S&D lobby, and we were like, we were just talking shit to the other team, and I think that's where I get my shit talking from. But like, I would just talk shit on the other team, and I remember my friend was these guys were like teenagers, by the way, like the other team, and so like they were talking shit on us, and they were like calling us squeakers and shit. And so my friend Andrew, you know, we like ninja defuse, and we would like, you know, we would eliminate their whole squad in like seconds. And so my friend Andrew starts chanting out garbage, garbage, garbage. And so, you know, all our friends are all squeakers and shit, and we're just like, you're like, fuck you, you know, like we're just little kids, you know, we're just talking shit. And I think, like I said, I think that's where I get all my shit talking from, because like I would just go ham on like talking shit. Like I still do. Like you guys see it in my clips, like that one clip where I think, what was it, like I clutched a 1v4 on S&D, and I was like, my heart was pumping, by the way, but like I like 1v4, and these guys were talking shit, but I just had them on mute. And like the fact that I 1v4 and like murked their shit like to a new fucking era, like that shit was funny as fuck, and like, you know, I'm just screaming on the fucking mic and my friends are laughing. So it's like I still have that shit in me. Like I still talk shit like no other day. Um, but yeah, like here I am years later, and I still talk to my friends that I grew up playing Call of Duty with. But now I'm starting to play with these new guys that I met in high school, and these guys are named like we have our own little group, and it's called Members Only. Um, Jesus Christ, my voice cracked right there. Fucking hell. But yeah, I hang out with those guys, and those guys are pretty cool. They're really fucking toxic. My friends before were toxic, but these motherfuckers are like toxic. Like they are wishing death upon my child. Like it's not. I don't like. I was just like, come on, bro. Like this is my child. And like I know they don't mean it. I know they're just my friends, and like it's funny to hear them like talk shit and like you know I'm like you know they'll be like, oh fuck you, and I hope your daughter dies in a car accident. I'll be like, oh you're fucking fat and like shit like that, you know. So it's just like that's how you know, like that's just how my friends are. And in real life, I know a lot of people don't fucking like me because they think I'm weird or I'm just like overly toxic. But you know, if you don't like me, you simply can just you know turn the other way. I don't care if you don't like me. Um, I just want to like I'm trying to think of more shit that like happened when I was a kid that involved like video games. I remember I was like sixth grade. At the time I had an Xbox 360, and so uh, I remember I had Modern Warfare 3 already, but I wanted to go back to Black Ops. So it's like near my birthday, and I asked my mom if she can get me Black Ops for my birthday, and she eventually did, right? And so, you know, I couldn't play it because it was like a school night, so I had to go to sleep. The fucking Call of Duty Black Ops like case was just sitting in my room, just like unwrapped, untouched by man, and it's just like waiting for me to like play it. So like the next day I'm at school, I'm in math class, and like I'm so fucking stoked to play this fucking game. Majority of my friends know this story, but so I'm like super stoked to play fucking Black Ops, and so my fucking dumb ass decided like it would be smart enough, you know. Well, I mean, I'm just a kid, right? Like at the time, you're thinking like, oh, he's only like what, like I don't know, how old are you in like sixth grade? Like what, like 13? So I'm like, he's only like a 13-year-old kid, and you know, he's just stoked to play Call of Duty, you know. So I started drawing like a bunch of like Call of Duty related stuff on my fucking work, and so I guess my math teacher comes up. Her name was Miss Barfka. Shout out to Miss Barfka. She's like one of the goat like teachers at like my middle school. She like fucking moves my hand out of the way because I try to cover it, and she goes, oh no. And so you know she goes, I'm not accepting this, right? So like she tells like she was like a student aide, or like I don't know what she was, but she was like an aide, like a teacher's aide, but she would like walk in and out of classrooms. I don't remember her. I think her name was like Miss Gonzalez or something, but she knew I was just a kid. Like she can tell what's like you know that I didn't mean it. You know, I'm just like it wasn't meant to be like a school shooting threat. Like you're only 13, and you know you're just like you act like a kid. You know, like like why are you gonna like make this a huge deal? Just make me crumple up the paper and throw it away. You know. So Miss Barfka gets mad and she tells Miss Gonzalez or whatever to like send me to the principal's office. So here I'm crying. I'm not really crying, but like I'm tearing up because like I know I fucked up. I'm not gonna be able to play Black Ops. That was like my main concern. My main concern wasn't about getting my ass whooped. I was concerned about fucking playing Call of Duty because I'm a little fucking kid. Jesus Christ. Now thinking about it, I'm just like, God damn, I was a dumb ass little kid. I had a fucking like I don't know. I had rocks for fucking like for a brain, you know. And so that shit was fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. I'm probably gonna upload this video like unedited, and like you guys can like tell. I don't know. Like I'm just not gonna edit it. I'm either too lazy or I just don't really care. My voice cracked again. Damn. So where was I? Fuck. Oh, like I was in the principal's office. So I was in the principal's office, and so they called school police. And shout out to like school police. Like I know they don't do fucking much shit in in like classes or whatever. But like in high school, I know they are doing some fucking jobs, and like they are stopping fights and shit, like stopping those little fucking tweakers in the bathroom, just like fucking blazing it up in there. But imagine being a school police, like an officer or whatever, and hearing that fucking 13-year-old kid drew all over his algebra like work or whatever, and it was just a bunch of like so-called fucking school shooting threats. Like imagine being called for that shit. Like I know that fucker was pissed. So he like he comes over and it's this big ass fucking officer or whatever. He's big ass belly, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, he sighs and he sits down and he's like, so what's up? And I'm just like, I don't know, like I guess I'm in trouble, and like I'm low key crying and shit. And so my mom is on her way and she comes in. She just looks at me and sighs, and she like laughs because she low key knows that I was just stoked to play Call of Duty. I'm a little fucking loser, My mom didn't really care, She was pissed off because she had to get called from work and shit. Like, which parent wouldn't be mad? So she's in there and she's like, she doesn't really give a fuck. Like, she knows that I'm just a kid. I'm just want to play Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she doesn't give a fuck. So the shit goes down. They suspended me for like, I almost said expelled. Wow. No, they suspended me for like 2 days, and I got home. I didn't get an ass whooping, but like they took away my like Xbox for like a week or two, and that was that. Like came back and all that shit. So then I think that's where my mom started getting a little strict on like Xbox and shit. Like she would usually like, hide my HDMI cord because I was so addicted to playing that shit. I would wake up at like 7 in the morning just to play my Xbox, or I would fake being sick just to play my Xbox, or like like shit like that. Like she would hide the HDMI cord, and I'd like outsmart her because I would use the AV cords and just plug them into my TV. Like the AV cords are still there, mom. Like you still need to grab that. And so shit like that happened. Or she would take away the whole Xbox, like the console, and like hide it around my room, thinking like I won't look for it. So yeah, like that's like my childhood, bro. Like just like my Xbox is still in my room to this day, and sometimes I wish I could play and like just like have the same memories as like I did as a kid. But I know I'm like old as fuck now. I'm saying like old as fuck, like I'm not fucking 19 going on 20, and like I'm a sophomore in college, like saying old as fuck is like a big leap. But yeah, man, I still low-key have those like memories when I play with these like toxic fucks. So I mean, yeah, I guess like that's my story time. I don't know what to say. There's not really much I can say. I don't want to like tell you guys too much because there's like a shit ton of like my childhood. Just wanted to like summarize it down or whatever, so you guys can get a point of view of like how I grew up. So yeah, that's my story time, fellers. Yeah, if you guys have any like questions or whatever, if you guys want to ask questions, go ahead. I don't really mind. You guys can drop them down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you want to. I don't really care. No, I'm just kidding, I do. But yeah, man, like I kind of like doing videos like this. Like it's like venting out to you guys, even though I have like 10 subscribers right now. But I mean, y'all mean the world to me, even though like I don't know, I'm just like I appreciate that, like having you guys as subscribers and you guys liking my videos and watching that, like kind of means a lot to me. So yeah, guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. You don't have to turn on notification bells because I probably like post like every like 2 days or whatever. Make sure to follow my Instagram. It's basically the same thing. My pictures like me in like a mugshot or whatever. So yeah, that's the end of my story time. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it mucho, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the clip. imagine talking shit and doing 13 kills? Wow, that's crazy.
He fucking drop shotted me.
You drop shotted your ass. You're literally ass. Uninstall. Uninstall, nigga. You not going to the league. Yeah, look at you. How many? Oh, damn. Went negative. Ew. Ew. You nasty fuck.
Keep talking.